Procrastination is a bad habit that pushes you to put off until tomorrow what you should do today. The danger of procrastination is that you'll put off what you're supposed to do, then never do it, and end up wasting your time. Procrastination is the art of saying later until it's too late. Time is something you can't make up for. Once you've lost time, it's over. It won't come back. God is the master of time and circumstances. Don't put off God's time for your life. God has a plan for you. But how many times have you procrastinated when it comes to doing God's will? The Bible says that when you hear God's voice, you must not harden your heart. When you put everything off until tomorrow, it's important to note that tomorrow can also become your worst enemy, simply because tomorrow may never happen for you. Your tomorrow doesn't belong to you, it belongs to God. Know that if you still have the choice to decide for today, then do so. Because tomorrow belongs to God, not to man. Before we go any further, I'd like to ask you 3 things. Subscribe, like the video, and don't forget to share it with your friends. This will help me keep posting videos every day. So, do it please. Thank you. Here we go. So, we're talking about procrastination. We are going to look at the reasons why we often procrastinate, why we tend to put everything off until tomorrow when we can do it today. It's important to remember that there's always a reason why you procrastinate so often. And you have an obligation to identify that cause so you can resolve it and stop procrastinating as soon as possible. There is always a reason why we put off until tomorrow what we need to do today. One of the first reasons to procrastinate is indecision. Many people are indecisive. Indecision is when your brain says yes, but your heart says no. And in the end, you end up putting off doing something for another day. And in the end, you end up putting off until tomorrow what you would have liked to do today. In the end, you'll have done nothing. If you often change your decisions, it means that you are indecisive. Being indecisive is very often the consequence of making decisions based on emotions. It means that just because sometimes we don't feel like doing something, we don't do it simply because we're listening to our emotions. When God calls you to do His will, you mustn't be indecisive, you must respond obediently. So, stop being indecisive and take immediate action. The second reason you like to procrastinate is simply because you want to be perfectionist. It's when you wait for all the signs to be perfect to produce something. Sometimes you'll encounter challenges for which God hasn't given you all the necessary means, but He tells you just walk in faith because He is with you. But because you want everything to be perfect, you prefer to procrastinate while waiting for the perfect moment. Expect that the perfect moment doesn't exist, and in the end, you'll never get anything done. Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 4 tells us, if you wait for perfect conditions, you will never get anything done. There is nothing perfect on earth, but know that you have a God who is perfect. He will never deceive you. You may not see all the positive indicators, but keep your faith in Him. The third reason you procrastinate is fear. Fear is the brake on the advancement of many of God's children. Sometimes fear stops you from preaching the gospel. You have to dare. You have to try. You must not focus on fear, but overcome it. Fear prevents you from taking action today. You must overcome fear in order to fulfill God's will in your life. So stop, let fear guide your way. The last reason to procrastinate is laziness. Proverbs chapter 13 verse 4 tells us, the lazy want much but get little. The lazy prefer much without doing any work. They desire to obtain much without doing anything. They like results without effort. There is no such thing. Everything has a price in life. There is no such thing as effortless results. You have to work for it. Don't miss the opportunities in front of you. How many times have you procrastinated before praying, before meditating on God's words, or even evangelizing your neighbor? Stop waiting for tomorrow, because tomorrow may never come. You know God needs you, but you put it off until tomorrow. You know you need to pray, but because you're lazy, you decide to put it off until tomorrow. You know there is this sin you don't want to repent of, but how long do you plan to wait? Know that tomorrow doesn't belong to you. The only time you have control over is now. Know that there are opportunities you risk losing simply because time isn't yours. Once it's gone, it's gone. You need to understand that your rarest asset on earth is the time God has given you. So, stop wasting it and losing it needlessly. Whatever God's called you to do, you must learn to obey His words. Decide today to stop procrastinating in order to live out the promises God has in store for you. Remember that it's your responsibility to take charge of your life and live out all the promises God has in store for you. I encourage you to stop procrastinating, and I promise you that God will not fail to bless you. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you've made the decision to change your life now, not tomorrow. Please don't forget to encourage me by subscribing and liking this video. See you in a future video. God bless. Peace.